Namaskar and a very warm welcome to the Web Ratna Awards honoring excellence in e-governance initiatives through web for the year 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, this momentous occasion, it is indeed a matter of great pride to welcome our Honorable Minister of Communications and IT, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a very warm welcome, Honorable Minister, to this function. We warmly welcome our other distinguished dignitaries on the dais. We have with us Shri Tapan Ray, Additional Secretary Deti, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Joint Secretary and Director General of NIC, Ms. Neeta Verma, Deputy Director General of NIC, and Ms. Alka Mishra, Senior Technical Director, NIC. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to note at this point that Shri Ram Sevak Sharma, Secretary Deti, was unable to make it to this awards function as he is held up at the MOU signing ceremony with Qatar in the presence of Honorable Prime Minister, and he would be joining us later. On this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome our esteemed guests and dignitaries with flowers as a warm welcome gesture, and we'd firstly like to extend a very warm welcome to our Honorable Minister, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, with flowers. We'd also like to present for bouquets to Shri Tapan Ray, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Ms. Neeta Verma, and Ms. Alka Mishra. Once again, an extreme welcome to you all, ladies and gentlemen. New and auspicious beginnings in the Indian tradition are commenced with the lighting of the lamp with an invocation to the divine. May I now request Honorable Minister to kindly light the ceremonial lamp, and I request our distinguished dignitaries on the dais to kindly join in the lighting of the lamp. For the lighting of the lamp. The Indian government has been amongst the front runners in taking initiatives to adopt the best practices in integrated delivery of information and services to achieve ICT-led development in the country. In order to promote more innovative e-governance initiatives and to give recognition to the exemplary efforts in this direction, the Web Ratna Awards have been instituted under the ambit of the National Portal of India, india.gov.in. The awards aim not only to recognize the noteworthy and sustainable initiatives in the realm of e-governance, but also to disseminate information about such initiatives for others to customize as well as replicate the successful solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I would like to now invite Dr. Ajay Kumar, Joint Secretary and Director General of NIC, and I request him to kindly make his welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister of Communications and IT, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, Additional Secretary, Department of Electronics and IT, Shri Tapan Ray, Secretary Posts, secretaries from the state government, senior officials from the central and the state government, my colleagues from NIC, other officers from Government of India, representatives of media. It's my pleasure to stand here before you and on this occasion of the Web Ratna Awards 2014 being conferred on work of excellence and innovation done across governments. It is extremely important that we recognize some of the good work which stands as example for others, so that a healthy spirit of competition drives all across the government. With Digital India, there is a new wave and drive towards the use of technology in the government. The idea of Digital India to make sure that we transform the way we do business in the government cannot be realized unless each and every department and ministry of Government of India or the state government or their organizations actually start adopting IT in a much bigger way. NIC itself is trying to gear up and prepare itself so that it can take up this huge task which lies before it as form of Digital India. It implies that things have to reach all states, all districts, all taluks, all villages, and that is no easy task. We have in the past done reasonably well in several pockets, and examples of very successful states or districts are innumerable. But here we are talking, when we are talking of Digital India, is making an impact across the country. We are joined with our Secretary, Shri R.S. Sharma. Sir, I'll just interrupt for his. Sir, answer. Sir was actually held up with a program with the Prime Minister regarding signing of an MOU which department was signing, and we are really happy to see him here today. So continuing where I left, so the most important challenge is to be able to reach to every single corner of this country. And to do that, one important way which NIC is trying to make a difference is to adopt common applications which can be rolled out across the country. Several such examples we have done in the last few months across sectors, but many more need to be taken up. We have an e-procurement solution which is being implemented across the country. We have an e-office solution which is being implemented across the country. A common application for public distribution system is under implementation, and while several states still have their legacy applications, we are inviting them to come and join the PDS application. We are asking departments to start coming and joining on the common application for transport. We have had several departments which were working on Vahan and Sarthi, and time has come to create a common application for these very important government services. We have rolled out Jeevan Praman across as a common application, which can be used for providing a way which will obviate the need for pensioners to go and prove every year that they are alive so that they can get their pension. It's a common application. You don't have to do anything. Every state, every district, every organization can log in and start using that application. We have biometric attendance system for organizations who can start implementing a more technological savvy way of marking attendance in their organizations. We have visitor management system for those organizations and ministries who would want to, especially in Government of India, people have to go to the reception and wait indefinitely to get, check up with the officer whether he can come in or not. And when the officer can come, if the officer is not on seat, the visitor is waiting in a reception where there is hardly any facility. This can be avoided through an online system which has been created by NIC and available across both for central and state governments. We have an e-prisons portal which can be implemented across the states. I can go forth. But this is the model by which we are trying to ensure that a certain level of quality, certain level of security, minimum standards in the websites, etc. can be maintained. But nevertheless, apart from this broad model of ensuring faster rollout of application, creating impact throughout the country, lower cost of implementation, there would be several other needs on which the departments themselves have to take initiative, both for rolling out existing common applications as well as their specific needs. And it is this initiative, this effort that we hope to recognize through Web Ratna Awards here that we are celebrating. Web Ratna Awards was started as a Government of India initiative in 2009. This is a biannual award given every second year, and after 2009, 2011, 2013, we are now in the process of giving this award. We are happy to see that various departments across states and centrals have been recipient of this award. There is a committee which comprises of industry, academia and government which decides the awardees. We try to be as objective as possible, going through a spectrum of parameters so that various issues including the creative design, the ease of use, and content quality, ready updating. One of the things on which government websites are often criticized, government applications are criticized, is lack of ready updation from time to time. All these have been taken into account while deciding the awardees. So friends, first of all, I would like to compliment and congratulate all the winners for their wonderful work in their respective fields. I'd also like to mention that in this category we have added one new award category, and that is the Open Data Champion. You are aware that government has a decided policy on making more and more data open to public, and this can lead to several further benefits in terms of new services and information that can be made available to common people. I don't want to get into there, but to recognize and to emphasize the importance of this category, the Open Data Champion, and we will have the first Open Data Champion declared here today. So congratulations to again to the awardee in that category also. I would also like to say here, this is really, NIC is the secretariat for doing this work, and they have done a very objective and a very time-bound work in this regard. So I would like to recognize the effort taken by the NIC team in this regard. With these words, I would like to welcome our Honorable Minister to this very significant day in the e-governance and digital India journey of the country, day on which we would be recognizing good exemplary work done in this regard. He has been always extremely supportive of all the initiatives that have been taken in the pursuance of Digital India agenda, and he has kindly consented to be present to be part of this program today. So we welcome you today, sir. I would like to welcome our Secretary, respected Shri R.S. Sharma, sir, who has, like I was mentioning earlier, he was held up with a program with respect to signing of an MOU with Qatar today at Hyderabad House, where PM is participating, and he has been able to come here and participate. So we really thank you for your effort to have come here and participate in this function, and we look forward to your words and guidance on this occasion. Our Additional Secretary, Shri Tapan Ray, he is leading the initiative of Digital India in the department and has been a great mentor and guide all through. We are really happy to have him here with us, sir. We thank you here. I'd like to especially welcome Secretary Post, who's here with us, joining us for this occasion. Ma'am, your presence has really made this function grander than what it is. And I would like to welcome state secretaries, senior officers of the central government and other officers, and our friends from media and all other colleagues who are here from NIC. Once again, welcome all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome address and for succinctly taking us through the objectives and processes of these awards and the varied initiatives and programs of NIC to improve services and creation of beneficial impact in the lives of the Indian citizen. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Ms. Neeta Verma, Deputy Director General of NIC, and request her to kindly give us an overview of the Web Ratna Awards.
Honorable Minister of Communications and IT, respected Secretary DIT, Additional Secretary DIT, Director General NIC, Senior Director NIC, senior officers from central and state government, distinguished guests, members of media, colleagues from DIT, NIC and NICSI. 8,000 websites, 35 million pages, 10 million documents is the current size of Indian government in cyberspace, and it is growing by every day. This web space of Indian government has diverse set of applications, right from information dissemination to submitting applications online, tracking the status of your applications, to end-to-end delivery of e-government services. With the proliferation of internet and availability and affordable access to World Wide Web has really made this web space accessible by citizens of India across the country, rural and urban alike. Accessibility of all communities of citizens, able, differently abled, rural and urban, semi-literate and literate, English speaking and non-English speaking, is pertinent to facilitate inclusive access to government information and services. A number of initiatives have been taken in the past in this direction at various levels in the government by different departments. Recently, under Digital India, we have introduced a new program, Common Minimum Framework, in which a framework has been developed which will help government departments make their websites citizen-centric, universally accessible, means accessible by all, at the same time mobile-friendly and responsive in design. It was felt that if we could acknowledge the initiatives taken by different departments in this direction, using the medium of World Wide Web, it is going to further encourage them. This was, ladies and gentlemen, genesis of Web Ratna Awards in the year 2009 under National Portal of India, a mission mode project under National E-Governance Plan. This year, nominations were called in different categories, namely citizen-centric service, outstanding web content, comprehensive web presence, participation in governance, innovative use of technology, and last, new category, open data champion. Total of 315 nominations were received across different categories. These nominations were then shortlisted, evaluated and shortlisted by a team at IIT Delhi led by Professor M.P. Gupta. And for each category, a specific criteria was designed to assess the nominations. And these shortlisted nominations were then presented to our esteemed jury, chaired by Secretary DIT and members from academia, industry, as well as from the government. It is very important to mention here that all the shortlisted nominations were equally deserving, and believe me, it was really tough to rank for the jury in the order of 1, 2, and 3. I hope and wish the Web Ratna Awards, today in its 3rd edition, shall go a long way in establishing Indian government's presence, a very high quality, inclusive and universally accessible. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for the genesis and overview of the Web Ratna Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now present a short film highlighting the spirit of the Web Ratna Awards. Can we have the film, please?
Meet Gupta ji. Count his 2 hours to pay tax. Meet Vitti ji. Also count her 3 hours to file her complaint for water. Registration of Colonel Singh's new car will demand at least 8 hours. And to know the status of Naidu sir's application is a 7 to 8 days affair. Just imagine the entire population of the country doing the same. And you will realize that we have wasted millions of man-hours just waiting. But no more of it now. Somebody sitting far away from them has turned a magic star, and India has gone online. Now they pay their taxes like this. This is how they file a complaint, register for services, and this is how they meet their government. They call this the magic wand of convenience, and we call it e-governance. These are the stars who have lit up our society and empowered the common man. Let us choose the superstars out of hundreds of stars and give them a special star. One of the most prestigious e-governance awards in India. Web Ratna Awards, honoring e-governance. Once again, we have successfully gathered all the e-stars of the Indian government on a single platform. We, the National Portal of India, are a mission mode project executed by NIC under the guidance of DATI, providing a single window access to over 8,000 Indian government websites. Be it city civic services or panchayat services, it is you, the public servants of India, who have brought a revolution. You have made the government transparent, efficient, accountable and accessible. You have innovated and set examples, and you are turning India into a digital India. And today, we all are here to bring your efforts to light before the country, to be applauded, appreciated, and later inspire many. Today, the government of India, through an esteemed jury, is going to recognize the new e-stars of 2014 under various categories. Also adding yet another feather in the cap is the newly added category of Open Data Champion. Felicitating this innovative startup is none other than the Honorable Minister of Communications and IT. Web Ratna Awards, honoring e-governance, because an initiative today is a practice tomorrow.
That was the short film on Web Ratna Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to now invite Shri Tapan Ray, Additional Secretary DATI, and I request him to kindly address us.
Honorable Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, respected Secretary IT, Shri Sharma ji, DG NIC, Ajay, Dr. Ajay Kumar, DG NIC, Senior Technical Director NIC, officers from the Government of India, State Government, and members of the IT fraternity, media and friends. At the outset, I would like to congratulate NIC for continuing the tradition of honoring the best performance in e-governance through web. That is the Web Ratna Award. And I would also like to congratulate the winners who had made it to the last stage after a long competition. And as you would have seen, there are a large number of websites which were in the fray for the competition, and only the best have got selected. So congratulations to all of them. Friends, we are now living in a very exciting times. We have the digital revolution which is taking place every minute. As you all know, things have really changed over time. I recall when I was a student in IIT, we used to have what is called the mainframe computers. So we'd go with a bunch of punch cards and submit it to the counter for our programs, and then get the reply whether our program was successful or not. Then there would be compilation errors, there would be logical errors, and at the end of it, when our program ultimately succeeded, we would be very thrilled that it has actually happened. And those are very trivial programs. And we have come a long way across that. And I remember when I was a district development officer in one of the districts in Gujarat, Godhra, and then subsequently in Baroda, when we got a personal computer, which was I think a PC-80 or XT, the chief secretary of the state came to inaugurate it. So you can imagine how things have changed over time. So today we are in a stage where things are moving very fast. In fact, so rapidly that we cannot cope with it. The number of internet users is rapidly increasing. The first 100 million in India, it took 20 years. The second 100 took 3 years, and the third will take hardly a year. So we are almost touching 300 million internet users. And this number will reach about half a billion, that is 500 million, in say another three years' time. So these are the numbers which we have to cope with. Then we have 900 million and above mobile users. So the internet spread has increased also due to the mobile usage in our country. So with these numbers in place, we have to be very alert about the needs which the citizen wants. The departmental orientation has to change, and the citizen-centric focus has to come. And that is where our e-governance through the web is very critical. And on the web, as you all know, the content is important. Updating it, keeping it alive is very important. It has to be interactive. The content has to be a balance of graphics, sound, audio, text. So that is where the challenge comes. And since we are now getting into the digital India mode in a big way, we will be reaching the villages of India shortly. We already are in some of the villages, but the larger number of panchayats which we target under the digital India will come after the NOFN is laid out. So that is where our challenge will be, to have e-governance on a web-based platforms, which are user-friendly and also friendly to the people at large in the villages. Now, India, as you all know, is residing in its villages which speak different languages, dialects, they have different customs. So we have to see that all our e-governance delivery ultimately is facilitating them and making it easy for them to take the service. So in this regard, Digital India is launching its various actions under different pillars. We have e-Kranti, we have delivery of services through the electronic method. And as you know, e-governance is now the only alternative. I mean, if the government is not doing e-governance, it may not be in governance, as they say. So there is no alternative to e-governance. That is digital governance. And we at DIT are promoting it in a big way, because, as Ajay had mentioned, we are stressing on common application software where we have interoperable systems in which we have multi-tenancy so that each state or a department can onboard. Then we have what are called, which are configurable and scalable, so that we can easily onboard the systems from various departments and states. So I would like to again congratulate NIC for continuing this initiative, but I must say that the response has been really good. One issue which we always think is, why was it only limited to the government sector? Even I had asked this question. But I think for starters, we must have a level playing field for government offices. But they must strive to at least achieve what is being done at the best practices across the world. I mean, even within government, you can always strive to achieve it at par with the best in the world. And that is where I think these awards are a source of inspiration to all the people who are behind this. And those who have not got the award this time, I'm sure will be striving to get it next time. And this is why we have these ceremonies, so that it serves as an inspiration to the others also. So I would like to thank NIC for calling me here. And we are now progressing big way under the leadership of our Honorable Minister. In fact, we are planning a Digital India Week for which we'll be soon coming out with the preparations under the leadership of Minister and our Secretary. So that will be a very big sort of program by which we'll reach Digital India to its villages and also to the states as well as the other central departments. So I once again congratulate the winners and thank you very much NIC for calling me here.
Thank you, Shri Tapan Ray, for your kind address and sharing with us the various salient initiatives of DATI. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the presentation of the Web Ratna Awards. As mentioned, these awards have 6 categories, and in each category we have the Platinum, Gold and Silver Award. May I now request Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad to kindly confer these awards to our distinguished awardees. Ladies and gentlemen, before we present our awards, I would like to firstly request Shri Ram Sevak Sharma, Secretary DATI, to kindly address us.
Thank you very much and good morning to all of you. Honorable Minister of Communication and Information Technology, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, our colleague and friend, Additional Secretary Tapan Ray ji, Dr. Ajay Kumar ji, DG NIC, Neeta Verma ji, and friends from NIC, secretaries of various departments of Government of India, officers of Government of India, officers from the state governments, friends. It's really a great happy occasion for all of us to be honoring those who have done great work in designing and basically displaying the work which they do through their web portals. And as many of us know, these web portals, web pages as they were called earlier, have a long way. You know, earlier were the days when some departments used to just sort of start the website, and the website will contain some kind of, gaudy buttons and some informations and some photographs, and we thought it was a great idea to have these websites. Today, our expectations of websites have increased manifold. Today, the technology has really undergone a major change, and today the content and the method of doing the contents also has substantially changed. Today you have RSS feeds and all kinds of other technologies. Today the basic form factors have undergone a change. Largely you want your website to be mobile responsive, to website to be sort of accessible from your mobile, and all kinds of factors to keep in mind. And therefore design principles have undergone a change, your data updation principles have gone, your major framework has undergone a change. These websites are not merely just delivering information to the people, they now become interactive websites. They are basically become transactional websites. So you are actually conducting transactions. So they have become a mode of very important service delivery. And that's that the website are called now will become a very, very delivery, and people will be able to access them, their mobile phones, their smartphones, and all kinds of things. And that's where we are going. Expect anything, as our Prime Minister says, in the mobile of a person. This is the ultimate dream which we are, that the mobile phone instrument of transaction and instruments of getting the information. So therefore, the whole thing has undergone a real change, and today we design websites with what we call responsive designs, which are able to adjust themselves according to the form factor, width and size, etc. So that is, and all of you are actually have, gone ahead with these technologies, and what is being awarded today is really those government websites and those portals which have shown that they are ahead of the curve in this development process. I was very happy to learn that there is a new category which has also being awarded today, which is the Open Data Initiative. That also is extremely important. And therefore, you know, very, very important work there in that area also is being done. As Tapan mentioned, that we are really on a very, very transformational program called Digital India. And that is an extremely comprehensive program which addresses not only the service delivery, but also addresses the capability building, capacity building, and new design principles of the e-governance projects. See, what has happened over a period of time is that due to the advent of new technologies and new paradigms, we need to really redesign and revamp the existing systems. So some basic design principles have to be there, and I would like to share with you, because you are all in the field of IT, you are doing those works. I'd like to share with you what are the new design principles which should be adopted by us to deliver services. So the first one is, see, common application software. The multi-tenancy, as Tapan mentioned, multi-tenancy common application software. In India, though it's a federation of the states, but we'll realize that the administrative system has more or less evolved, and it has evolved over time in all these states in a similar manner. So today, for example, you have the Motor Vehicles Act, the registration of motor vehicles, driving licenses, permits, etc. They are all being governed by a central law and all being done in these states. Similarly, judicial system in the country, that also has a common IPC, CRPC, CPC. The processes are very, very common. So there are a lot of applications which, though have different versions in the state, they basically, inherit from the same tree. The same commonality is there. And one can say that most of the applications which are being done in the state, whether it is registration of motor vehicles, whether it is registration of properties, that also comes from the Indian Registration Act of 1800 something 68 or that era. So essentially we have a number of domains which are actually derived from the single tree, though they may have over a period of time been sort of configurable and a lot of customizations might have taken place, but essentially they are the same. Yesterday we were designing different solutions for each of these problems. So for example, we have 35 registration systems in the country, softwares and various kinds of vintage. Some are client server, some are, web-based, and some are different types. What we have today an opportunity to really design a common application software and like a platform, and we can enable each state to come on these platforms with lot of configuration built into the system. We can also have reports on top of these platforms. So therefore, we can save a lot of money and we can bring about a tremendous amount of efficiency if we have such common platforms. So that is first principle, I would say, what we are doing in terms of many revamping of these earlier MMPs is essentially designing common application softwares which are multi-tenancy, a platform approach, and configurable to the last mile. The other issue which is very important is the open standards and open APIs. That also must become a very, very important design principle of all our softwares. What is happening today, every software is developing and doing its own things. We should realize that all the systems of the governance are interconnected. What is this? All the systems of the governance are interconnected, and therefore the applications have to talk to each other. And they can talk to each other only when they follow certain common minimum standards. So therefore we must have common standards, and we must enable communication among applications and also to the public through the common APIs. So that's also an important part of the design principle. So going forward, even the legacy softwares must be converted so as to expose common APIs, and these public can also. Now what can happen is, you are built, let's say, an application on transport, you have built an application on judicial system. Now the judicial system, suppose I want to find out the next date for my case, I really don't have to go to the website. I can have a small application on my mobile, and I can feed the case number, and I can get the next date or the details of the case. So therefore, we should enable and expose these APIs so that people, and even the private sector people, can build applications on top of it, so as to access the information and services being exposed by those applications. So that's another part. Of course, as I said earlier, we need to design applications for various form factors, especially the mobile. Then you see, one of the problems of our system has been, whenever we start a project, we start procurement of hardware. भाई एक प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है, इसके लिए 70 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट है, 50 करोड़ का सर्वर्स है, all kinds of back-end systems we do. And that's a very bad approach. Today in the world of cloud, we don't really need to procure these hardware because hardware becomes, in fact, we have realized a situation that some hardware kept in NIC data center, the cost of maintaining the hardware and providing air conditioning to that hardware and providing power to that hardware actually is more than the services which it delivers. And actually those services could have been delivered by a single server while we are having 30 servers of 2002 vintage. Why should we have that? So essentially we should now make our softwares really leverage these technologies on cloud, where we can just sort of get the space on the cloud and get going without having to procure any hardware. So I think that is very, very important, because tomorrow these hardwares will become e-waste. These hardware will become useless. And then, we will have to find out as to how to dispose them of. So this is another part which we must realize, and we must actually leverage, and we must ensure that whenever we start a project, we don't buy a hardware, we use cloud as a default. And of course, open data analytics. Last thing which I would like to share with you, we must start using many platforms which have come into existence. For example, every application worth any transaction, the first thing which it does is authenticate and identify yourself, whether you are a real customer or not. Now, this is the first stage, is authenticate your identity. Now, as you know, UIDAI has done Aadhaar. Today we have 800 million Aadhaars in this country. And that platform of identity authentication, and UIDAI offers identity authentication as a service. Currently it is free of cost. And all of our applications, rather than designing our own authentication systems, must actually leverage that platform. And if we leverage the platform, as you know, single sign, login, authentication, keeping records, etc., passwords, username, all that can just go away. So you use that common platform, it really brings about a huge amount of efficiency to you, and also it absolves you from the responsibility of actually creating an authentication system. For example, banking applications. First thing they ask, are you the customer? Are you my customer? Now, if that need not be asked, because if you can authenticate this customer through the third-party authenticator called UIDAI, you don't really need to have your own authentication systems. Similarly, payments. Now, payments are a normal part of any transaction today. If I want a receipt for my, let's say, land records, I will have to pay some money. If I want to buy a ticket, I will have to pay some money. If I want to buy an airline ticket, I pay some money. Now, basically, for many of these systems have their own payment gateways, but for government, there is a common payment gateway which has now been put in practice, PayGov. This can be customized, tied up with any application, and therefore you must use this built-in infrastructure. So this payment gateways, similarly SMS gateways, NIC itself is actually operating an SMS gateway, so you just have to give the mobile numbers in the message, and the rest of the job is done by NIC. So this is another platform. So we must use all our applications, rather than designing and rather than having contracts with the banks, with the SMS providers, with the telcos, individually. We don't need to do that. We can just use this common platform and get going. So the software development effort really becomes very, very minor, really becomes very small compared to what you are building authentication systems, you are building payment systems, you are building messaging systems. You don't need to do that. So therefore, that is another principle which you must. We have come up with another very, very transformational facility called eSign. So basically, when you are filling a form, after filling a form, you say, get a printout and sign it. I mean, I file a scholarship application online, but thereafter I am asked to just print it and sign it again. Passport application, print it and sign again. Mr. Simli is sitting here. So essentially, we don't need to do that. Now we have the eSign facility, which actually enables you to digitally sign the document which you are filling. Now with that facility, the entire paperwork can be eliminated.
The digital locker facility, which is going to be launched very soon, that also enables you to share documents digitally, and these documents are digitally signed. So therefore, a whole lot of paperwork can really be eliminated. Transactions can become completely digital, end-to-end digital. For example, you could just fill a form for opening a bank account, sign that form, attach your electronic KYC, and you are good to go. You should be given an account. In fact, theoretically, you can, sitting at your home, you can fill a form, give your electronic KYC, and the bank should be able to open an account number, and you can get a passbook on the bank saying that, great, congratulations, you have an account here, and this is the account. You can even pay money, deposit money to that account. So essentially today, and interestingly, India is the only country which has got this kind of electronic identity infrastructure, digital identity infrastructure, which can really, simplify a lot of transactions. So what I would request is, as a next wave, as we go forward in digital India, we need to leverage all these technologies. We need to use all these design principles so as to really derive efficiency, provide efficient services and paperless services to the citizens of this country who deserve it so much, and basically bring about efficiency in all our transactions, reduce paperwork and reducing paper. I mean, I was wondering, for example, in a passport, I had gone the other day to make my passport, and I signed a number of papers. They have really done a transformational job. I must congratulate them. E-Passport Seva is one of the most modern Seva which we have got in this country. But there also, we were signing a half a dozen papers. Now, if 1 crore people make passport, we are actually signing 6 crore papers. And you can imagine billions and billions of papers are being signed for, various kinds of applications, various kinds of works. All this paper can be eliminated. All these forests can be saved. So this is what we must actually achieve. And today, the time has come. We have a government led by a prime minister which is so, focused on technology, users of technology. We have a minister who actually is absolutely always backing us, always encouraging us to go ahead with whatever initiatives we are doing. And he's always so much, sort of encouraging all the time. And therefore, we have all the stars rightly aligned today to really have this digital revolution. And I think all of us must become a part of it, and we will be doing a great service to the people of this country if we adopt newer technologies, if we adopt newer ways of doing things, and if we adopt these transaction-based sort of situations which are paperless and which are sort of friendly to the people. I once again congratulate all of you who are today going to get awards. Also congratulate those who are not going to get award, but because, as Neetaji said, it is only a very small differentiator. I was also actually, when I was participating in the jury, I found out that marks were 3.875 and 3.876. Some kind of algorithm was applied on various parameters, a large number of parameters also. Very scientific work which the jury has done, I must say. So there, you don't have a difference of 6.875 and 6.876. 6.876 might have, got it, 875 did not get it. It doesn't mean that they are really very different. So therefore, I think great work is being done in the country, and I think these kinds of awards and encouragement to the people who are doing and designing these systems are a great way to recognize their services and provide them encouragement. Once again, I congratulate all the award winners to this function, and again implore that in the next 2 years, when we have these awards in 2017, we must find newer designs, as I explained to you, in these kinds of websites and portals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind address, and you stressed on redesigning and revamping the various platforms and applications, as well as leveraging technology for successful service implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request our Honorable Minister, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, to now kindly confer the awards to our distinguished awardees. And as I mentioned, that we have the 6 categories in the awards, and each category has the Platinum, Gold and Silver Award. May I also request our distinguished dignitaries to kindly join in with Honorable Minister in presenting the awards. When I mention the name of the award, I request the entire team to kindly come up to receive the award. Ladies and gentlemen, Our first category is the citizen-centric service, and the Platinum Award in this category goes to the Passport Seva Portal, Ministry of External Affairs. Passport Seva Portal is a single-window online interface for multiple stakeholders that guarantees effective and transparent processes for the delivery of passport and other related services to Indian citizens. Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. Moving on to the Gold Award in this category, ladies and gentlemen, this goes to the National Safai Karamcharis Finance and Development Corporation. The National Safai Karamcharis Finance and Development Corporation has an objective to empower the Safai Karamcharis, scavengers and their dependents so that they can break away from their traditional occupation, repressed social conditions and poverty. The final aim is to leverage them to work their own way up the social and economic ladder with dignity and pride. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the Silver Award in the same category goes to the National Institute of Open Schooling for providing learner-centric services. NIOS aims to cater to the wide spectrum of courses of study up to the pre-degree level for all categories of learners through open school movement. The portal enables learners to take admissions anywhere, anytime. They can select the study center of their choice, and examination fee submission is much more convenient as it is done online. Heartiest congratulations. And moving on to our next category, which is the Open Data Champion. In this, the Platinum Award goes to the Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner, India. The Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner, India, an attached office to the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, is responsible for conducting decennial population census in the country and disseminates its results. The Indian census is the most credible source of information on demography, economic activity, literacy, education, housing and household amenities, urbanization, fertility and mortality, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, language, religion, migration, disability, and many other socio-cultural and demographic data. Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. The Gold Award in the Open Data Champion category goes to the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has been in the forefront of opening its data to the public. Since 1998, when the first data dissemination policy was adopted by the Cabinet, the Ministry has been disseminating micro-level data for researchers and other users. Over the years, it has developed a user-friendly catalog of microdata following international metadata standards. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a tie in the Gold Award in this category, and the second award in the Gold Award goes to the Planning Commission of India. To implement the NDSAP and the Planning Commission, an oversight committee was instituted in May 2012 to advise and facilitate divisions of the Planning Commission. to contribute data sets resources in open data format. Till date, 1,560 data sets and 776 catalogs have been uploaded onto the OGD platform. All data sets are updated and as and when made available by the subject matter division on an average 5 times in a month, and in the last quarter, an average of around 200 data set resources have been updated. So, heartiest congratulations. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Silver Award in the same category, this goes to the Ministry of Water Resources. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please request you to kindly be liberal with your applause. The Ministry of Water Resources has been a major source for publishing essential data from time to time. It has been one of the leading contributors of data sets in open format to the OGD platform India. Till date, the Ministry has contributed 1,060 resources under 557 catalogs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next category, which is the category of outstanding content. And in this, the Platinum Award goes to the web portal of the Ministry of External Affairs. The Ministry of External Affairs web portal aims to disseminate India's position and views on various facts of bilateral relations, foreign policy and salient information about India. A microsite is developed where each Indian mission has a separate login to manage its content, which appears under the What's New in Mission section on homepage of the MEA website. And now for the Gold Award in the same category. This goes to the web portal of Kerala Tourism, of 24,000 pages of content on Kerala, including 3,300 videos and 1,500 images, designed specially to provide information with minimum clicks. Easy navigation between pages is a key feature. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie once again in the gold category. So the other award in outstanding content, Gold Award, goes to the web portal of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs aims to achieve integrated socio-economic development of the scheduled tribes in a coordinated and planned manner. The website provides instant information about the ministry, which can be accessed within 2 to 3 clicks. A dedicated team looks after the website content under the supervision of Web Information Manager for keeping the content up to date. The links are updated in real time as per need, and the website is checked for broken links on a monthly basis. Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. And now for the Silver Icon Award in Outstanding Content. This goes to the web portal of the Ministry of the Development of North-Eastern Region. May I invite Sri R. Vijay Kumar, Secretary Donor, to kindly receive the award with his team. The aim of the website of the Ministry of Development of North-Eastern Region is to provide instant information about North-East region of India and the various development activities in the region. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to our next category, which is Innovative Use of Technology. And in this, the Platinum Icon Award goes to M-Kisan, Department of Agriculture Corporation, Ministry of Agriculture, unleashing the power of mobile in the hands of the farmers. M-Kisan is an effective medium for providing timely knowledge inputs or advisories to the farming community, assessments, audits, tax accounting system, appeal and court cases, areas recovery, industrial incentives, etc. And Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie in the Gold Icon category of the innovative use of technology. The other Gold Icon award goes to the Department of Commercial Taxes from the state of Tamil Nadu. More transparency and to improve performance in the process of filing returns, online payment of taxes, online issue of e-transit pass, refund to dealers, online issue of saleable forms, and fast tag clearance at the system at the check post. And now for the Silver Icon Award in the Innovative Use of Technology category. This goes to eSahakar Online Cooperative Society Process Management System by the Department of Marketing and Textiles from the Government of Maharashtra. eSahakar project was conceptualized to provide an electronic platform to all the stakeholders to make the key processes of cooperative societies more simple, manageable, and transparent. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the category of Comprehensive Web Presents. The Platinum Icon Award goes to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The homepage of MIB website has the timestamp giving the last update details. The website has a dedicated Hindi version besides regular English version. The portal has a Google-enabled search facility to search within the HTML content and has a significant presence on all social media sites, which makes it accessible for users through multiple online platforms. So heartiest congratulations to the entire team. Moving on to the Gold Icon Award in Comprehensive Web Presents. The next award goes to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The website of Department of Health and Family Welfare is user-friendly, well-structured and enriched with content. The website comes with a number of special features for assisting visually challenged users and is accessible to all citizens and persons with other disabilities. Heartiest congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, the silver icon in the same category goes to the Controller General of Accounts. The Office of the Controller General of Accounts is the apex body of the Civil Accounts Organization, catering to the finance and accounts management of ministries and departments of Government of India through the Pay and Accounts Office. And now for the next category, which is on Comprehensive Web Presents. The Platinum Icon goes to the Maharashtra State Government. E-tendering portal of Maharashtra facilitates government to business purchases, sale of supplies and all other related services through internet. The primary objective of this portal is to provide a single point access to information on procurements made across various government departments. Heartiest congratulations. And now the gold icon goes to Tamil Nadu, State Government of Tamil Nadu. The Government of Tamil Nadu has implemented several e-governance projects aimed at delivering various citizen-centric G2C, G2B, G2G and G2E services in a hassle-free manner. These online services cover every aspect of a citizen's daily life and can be accessed on anytime, anywhere basis. And ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our last but not least award, the Silver Icon Award in the same category goes to the State Government of Uttarakhand. The Uttarakhand State Portal contains more than 100 websites of departments, boards, organizations and universities. The portal is developed in the PHP and customized to update contents as per GIGW guidelines. All websites links to the portal are managed by different departments independently through a single interface. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for conferring all the awards. And heartiest congratulations to all our winners. Ladies and gentlemen, the awards would be incomplete without felicitating our jury, who have evaluated through an extensive process to select the winners. May I request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate our jury members, and I would like to now invite our jury members. Firstly, we have with us on the dais itself, Shri Ram Sevak Sharma, Secretary Deputy, who has been one of the front runners and the jury members. May I now request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate our other jury member, Dr. Ajay Kumar, Director General, NIC. May I now invite Dr. Rajendra Kumar, Joint Secretary, Deputy, to kindly come on to the dais and request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate him. May I now invite Ms. V. Vidyavati, Joint Secretary in the Administrative Reforms Commission from the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. I don't think she is here with us. May I now request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate Ms. Neeta Verma, Deputy Director General of NIC, one of our esteemed jury members. May I invite Professor M.P. Gupta, Department of Management Studies, IIT Delhi, and request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate him. Professor Gupta is one of our jury members. May I now invite Ms. Rama Vedashri, Vice President of the NASSCOM E-Governance and Domestic IT. May I request her to kindly come on stage and request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate her. May I now invite Shantanu Das, Director, Columnist and from the Jux Consult Research and Consulting Private Limited, to kindly come on stage and request Honorable Minister to kindly felicitate him. Thank you, Honorable Minister. May I now request Honorable Minister to kindly release the awards compendium. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for releasing the awards compendium. May I once again request you to kindly release the index of government websites. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for releasing the index of government websites. An accomplished lawyer, an able politician, and an asset to his own party, Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad is a man of many talents. His biggest strength lies in his vision for the country. As Minister for Communications and IT, he has been spearheading the task of reviving India's telecom sector. He is also actively leading the mission of developing India into a global electronics manufacturing hub. India is sitting at the cusp of a digital revolution. The flagship program of Digital India, which aims to bring about good governance by extensive use of information technology, is being implemented under his leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I would like to now invite Honorable Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad and request him to kindly deliver his kind address.
आईटी विभाग के सचिव श्री राम सेवक शर्मा, पोस्टल विभाग की सचिव कावेरी बनर्जी, नॉर्थ ईस्ट विभाग के सचिव श्री विजय कुमार, एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी तपन रे, डॉक्टर अजय कुमार, नीता वर्मा, अलका मिश्रा, देवी और सज्जनों, जिन्होंने अवार्ड जीता है उनको बहुत बधाई। ये काम और होना चाहिए। देयर शुड बी मोर कंपटीशन। जब भी मैं इस देश को देखता हूं तो कुछ हकीकत सामने आती है। 122 करोड़ के देश में अब 97.5 करोड़ मोबाइल फोन है। वेरी सून वी आर गोइंग टू टच द सीलिंग ऑफ 100 करोड़ मोबाइल फोन्स इन इंडिया। स्मार्टफोन्स का कंजम्पशन हिंदुस्तान में अमेरिका के बाद सबसे अधिक है। गूगल, फेसबुक एंड अदर वर्ल्ड साइट्स हैव द बिगेस्ट प्रेजेंस इन इंडिया आफ्टर यूएसए। जो अभी जरा बांटना बंद करो, हेलो, अभी बांटना बंद कर दो, बाद में करना। जो इंटरनेट पेनिट्रेशन इस देश में, मुझे इंटरनेट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स ने बताया कि अब 30 करोड़ हो गया है। पहले मुझे विश्वास नहीं हुआ, ट्राई की कोई और संख्या है, बट दे सेड नो सर, इट इज ऑथेंटिक एंड आई हैव नो रीजन नॉट टू बिलीव देम। अब 30 करोड़ इंटरनेट पेनिट्रेशन का मतलब है वी हैव सरपास्ड यूएसए एंड वी आर सेकंड आफ्टर चाइना इन द वर्ल्ड। And if the projections are to be believed, in the coming 2-3 years, we will cross the 500 million marks, 50 crore internet plus. अभी दुनिया है, ये दुनिया बहुत कुछ अपने से बनी है, बहुत कुछ हमारी कोशिश से बनी। और मैं हमेशा एक बात कहता हूं, अगर आपको ये दुनिया नहीं पसंद है, तो आप अपनी अलग दुनिया बसा लीजिए। लेकिन अगर आपको इस दुनिया के साथ रहना है, तो इस दुनिया के साथ चलना पड़ेगा और इस दुनिया का सम्मान करना भी सीखना पड़ेगा। दिस न्यू होराइजन ऑफ ए वर्ल्ड विच इज बियॉन्ड जियोग्राफिकल एंड फिजिकल बाउंड्री इज स्टेयरिंग एट यू। I always say, if internet is one of the finest products of human mind, in order to become truly global, it must be linked to the local. और जब लोकल और ग्लोबल के बीच की दोस्ती और रिश्ता दोनों बनेगा, तो दुनिया भी अच्छी बनेगी। आप जब सरकारों में काम करते हैं, तो आपके काम करने के 3 मानदंड होने चाहिए: पारदर्शिता, उत्तरदायित्व और संवाद। अकाउंटेबिलिटी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड एंगेजमेंट। अब इस देश में एंगेजमेंट का स्वरूप क्या है और दुनिया कितनी आगे चल रही है, मैं बहुत टेक्निकल भाषण नहीं दूंगा, वो मैंने राम सेवक जी के लिए छोड़ दिया था। उन्होंने आपको बताया भी है कि आगे हमें कहां जाना है और क्या करना है। और अजय कुमार और तपन जी के लिए। लेकिन how people are keen to get engaged, it is very important for all of you to know and understand. जब हमारी सरकार आई तो हमने एक पोर्टल बनाया माईगव, और हमने देश के लोगों से कहा कि विकास के लिए, गंगा क्लीनिंग के लिए, इन्वायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन के लिए अपने सुझाव दीजिए। एक हफ्ते में 7 लाख सुझाव आए क्राउड सोर्सिंग। ये जो हमारा जनधन योजना थी, इसके लिए हमने उनसे नाम मांगा, ये जनधन नाम उन्होंने दिया, और 4 महीने में हमने देश में 12 करोड़ अकाउंट खोला थ्रू द सेम ब्यूरोक्रेसी। How you can empower the people through the power of new technology. जो स्वच्छ भारत अभियान है, इसका जो लोगो बनाने की बात हुई, हमने क्राउड सोर्स किया, और गांधी जी के 2 चश्मे ये जनता ने नाम दिया। और जनता हमसे कितनी आगे है, ये मैं कुछ नए उदाहरण मुझे लोग बताते रहते हैं तो मैं अवाक रह जाता हूं। हमारे एक वकील मित्र ने, दिल्ली में उनकी गाड़ी पंक्चर हो गई, उन्होंने सड़क पर गाड़ी छोड़ दी साइड पे करके, अपने दफ्तर में आए, अपने स्मार्टफोन पे गए, दिल्ली की साइट पे गए जहां पंक्चर बनाने वालों की सूची थी, उसमें 50 का नाम आया। उन्होंने दोबारा बटन दबाया, कोई हमारे दफ्तर के आसपास है, तो 2 निकले। उन्होंने एक को स्मार्टफोन से मैसेज किया कि मेरी गाड़ी यहां पड़ी है, चाबी यहां पर है। उसने मैसेज देखा, उनके दफ्तर से चाबी ली क्लर्क से, उसके बाद चक्के को खोलकर उसने व्हाट्सएप पर उसकी फोटो भेजी, इसमें 3 जगह कील घुसी हुई है, मैं ठीक करके भेज रहा हूं। दिस इज अ न्यू इंडिया। यू वांट टू बिलीव इट, डोंट वांट टू बिलीव इट, नो वन इज गोइंग टू केयर फॉर इट। मैं कोचिन गया था एक सरकारी कार्यक्रम में, तो मेरे बीजेपी के प्रेसिडेंट ने कहा कि एक परिवार के लोग आपसे मिलना चाहते हैं। तो आए पति पत्नी और उनकी छोटी सी बेटी थी अनामिका, 9 साल की, एंड शी वाज वेरी कीन टू मीट मी। तो बोले कि सर मैं आपको टीवी डिबेट में देखती हूँ, टाइम्स नाउ में देखती हूँ, मैं आपको बहुत अच्छा लगता है आपकी डिबेट, जब मालूम हुआ अखबार से आप आ रहे हैं मैं आपसे मिलना चाहती थी, एंड आई डोंट इवन सी कार्टून शो व्हेन गुड टीवी डिबेट्स इज गोइंग ऑन टाइम्स नाउ एंड अदर चैनल्स। तो हमने उसको बहुत प्यार किया, हमने कहा कि मेरी फोटो खींचो, और मैंने कहा मेरे फेसबुक पे पोस्ट करो उसको, और हमने उस पर एक पैराग्राफ लिखा, मेट लवली अनामिका, a brilliant girl who came to say hello and who is so keen to watch me on Times Now and other channels. She does not even see cartoon shows for that. And thank you Arnav that your channel is so popular. 4 दिन के अंदर 10 लाख लोगों ने उसको लाइक किया, the highest ever hit on my Facebook. अब ये 60,000 लोगों ने कमेंट किया, and one comment was the best, कि Mr. Prasad, Anamika did not miss cartoon show because Arnav Goswami show even otherwise is a cartoon show. It's a new India. It's an India which wants to get engaged. It's an India which is aspirational. It's an India which is looking towards future with hope. This is your responsibility when you get this award of being the best website. नीता, कितनी संख्या है वेबसाइट्स की देश में? सर, स्टेट सेंटर दोनों, खुशी की बात है। ये सारे वेबसाइट्स अप टू डेट होने चाहिए, ये सारे वेबसाइट इंफॉर्मेशन देने वाले होने चाहिए। हाँ, जो सिक्योरिटी के इंफॉर्मेशन आप मत दीजिए, मैं कभी नहीं कहूंगा। I want the officers to know this is the age of information. Information is power. And if you are willing to share good, pro-people, pro-growth, pro-development information, people are going to get involved in that process. हम चाहते हैं वो आप करिए। मेरी कल्पना क्या है? मेरी कल्पना यह है कि किसी स्टेट में अगर पब्लिक डिलीवरी सिस्टम की गाड़ी चल रही है तो कोई आदमी क्लिक करके समझ सके कि कैसी चल रही है, हमारे यहां का माल कब तक आएगा। दिस इज द लेवल ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी आई एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स। मैं बधाई देता हूं जिन लोगों ने काम किया है, और ये सरल भाषा में होना चाहिए, जो ग्राह्य भाषा हो। मैं हमेशा मैंने पूछा कि किसान जो चैनल आपने लॉन्च किया है, तो मुझे एक दिन प्रश्न का जवाब देना था, तो मैंने पूछा कि ये भाषा कैसे करते हो। एक बात ध्यान रखिए, क्लिष्ट हिंदी के कंधों पर कंप्यूटर की हिंदी सफल नहीं होगी, ये समझना पड़ेगा आपको। भाषा इन्हीं से होनी चाहिए, चाहे वो हिंदी हो, चाहे वो तमिल हो, चाहे वो तेलुगु हो, कि जनता उसे समझ सके और जनता उससे जुड़ सके। मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि इस देश में प्रशासकीय हिंदी ने हिंदी की सेवा कभी नहीं की है। उसका लक्ष्य ही है जितना अधिक क्लिष्ट बनाया जाए हिंदी को। मैं हिंदी का प्रेमी आदमी हूं और आज बहुत से पदाधिकारी यहां बैठे हुए हैं। जब हिंदी संसद, हम सभी समझते हैं पार्लियामेंट, काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट राज्यसभा, अब कोई उसको काउंसिल ऑफ स्टेट नहीं कहता है, हाउस ऑफ द पीपल लोकसभा, स्कूल विद्यालय, कॉलेज महाविद्यालय, यूनिवर्सिटी विश्वविद्यालय, ये सारे शब्द अपने आप लोकप्रिय होते गए। लेकिन जब प्रशासकीय हिंदी के उहापों में हिंदी फंस गई, तो मैं जब संचिका में टिप्पणी देखता हूं तो मुझे भी समझने में कठिनाई होती है कि इस हिंदी को कैसे समझूं। जब मैं देश का कानून मंत्री था तो कानून बन करके आया, हमने पूछा कि इसकी हिंदी किए हो तुम? कहा जी सर। कहा लाओ। उस हिंदी को समझने में मेरी भी परेशानी बढ़ गई। आई डोंट वॉन्ट द कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी मस्ट गो ऑन क्लिष्ट हिंदी और लोकल लैंग्वेज। इसका ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है। आप उस पर इंफॉर्मेशन दें। देखिए, लोग जानना चाहते हैं। मेरे पास प्रेजेंटेशन हो रहा था, हमने कहा रेलवे की ई टिकटिंग का कंपोनेंट क्या है? कहा 40%। अब आप देख लीजिए, वही कमजोर वेबसाइट है जो कभी ड्रॉप होता है, फिर भी 40% लोग ई टिकटिंग कर रहे हैं, गांव-गांव में कर रहे हैं। मैंने पूछा इस 40% का रूरल अर्बन कंपोनेंट क्या है? तो आई वाज प्लीज्ड टू नो दैट रूरल कंपोनेंट इज वेरी गुड। ये डिजिटल इंडिया प्रोग्राम निकला है देश को बदलने के लिए। And you officers are sitting here, let me wish to explain in very simple terms what is Digital India. Digital India is designed to bridge the gap between digital haves and digital have-nots. It is more for the poor. It is more for the underprivileged. It is more for those who are on the margins. It has basically three components: erection of digital infrastructure as a utility for citizens. Number two, digital delivery of services, very important. And number three, digital empowerment of citizens. बाकी उसके ई-गवर्नेंस है, बाकी है, ये तीन है। और इसीलिए हम 2.5 लाख पंचायतों में नेशनल ऑप्टिकल फाइबर नेटवर्क ला रहे हैं। ये बहुत बड़ा काम है। 10 लाख किलोमीटर हमने 30 साल में किया। हम 7 लाख किलोमीटर 3 साल में करना चाहते हैं। चाइना में ये हुआ लगभग 30-40 साल में। इट इज a game changer exercise which we are doing. And I want all the representatives of state governments and various departments to understand the importance of Digital India and start metamorphosing their own priorities in accordance with that mission mode program. It will be a non-discriminatory platform. Anyone can plug in for e-education, e-health, e-commerce. आपको मालूम है इस देश में ई-कॉमर्स की क्या संभावना है? 70,000 crore was the last year transaction. अभी जो एक जल्दी ही हम लोग घोषणा करने वाले हैं उसके फाइनल स्टेज में है, BPOs in small मुफस्सिल cities of India. ये एक हम बहुत बड़ा कार्यक्रम करने जा रहे हैं। जब भी इस देश के IT प्रोफाइल को मैं देखता हूं तो इट इज वेरी स्क्यूड। दिल्ली, नोएडा, ग्रेटर नोएडा, गुड़गांव, मुंबई, पुणे, नागपुर, चेन्नई, हैदराबाद, विशाखापट्टनम, विजयवाड़ा, मैसूर, बैंगलोर। That's all. That's all. Rest may be patches. Can we ignite this great excitement of India by having an enabling policy in small mufassal towns of India? उसको हम फाइनलाइज कर रहे हैं। आप समझते हैं कितना गवर्नमेंट डेटा अवेलेबल है फ्रॉम मनरेगा टू इंदिरा आवास? कैन वी एनर्जाइज दैट होल प्रोसेस फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट, फॉर एम्पावरमेंट? खेती भी करेंगे, IT ट्रेंड भी होंगे, कॉल सेंटर्स भी चलाएंगे। तो ये हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा मिशन है डिजिटल इंडिया का। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात कभी विस्तार से आपसे करेंगे। तो इसके माध्यम से हम देश को बदलना चाहते हैं, और जब देश को बदलने में आपको अपने विभाग को बदलना पड़ेगा। Whenever I see departments, you work in silos. Let me straight away raise few questions. जो एक विभाग का अच्छा काम है वो दूसरा विभाग फॉलो क्यों नहीं कर सकता? ये साइलोज रखने की क्या जरूरत है? और मैं कहूंगा राम सेवक जी आपसे और नीता आपसे कि आप और लिबरल हो जाइए अवार्ड में, कि अगर दो विभाग साथ काम कर रहा है तो दोनों को अवार्ड दे दीजिए, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। बट दिस वर्किंग इन साइलोज मस्ट एंड। दूसरा, वेबसाइट की अपडेटिंग जो होती है उसमें इतनी देर क्यों होती है? कुछ अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं उनको अवार्ड मिलता है। Why can't all the departments tend to update their websites with legitimate, relevant and pro-people information? मुझे शिकायत मिलती है कि वेबसाइट अपडेट नहीं हुआ है। एनआईसी के लोग हैं, अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, मैं उनको बधाई देता हूं। सुधार की गुंजाइश है, वो करना चाहिए। बिकॉज एनआईसी के लोगों को सिर्फ यही नहीं करना है कि जब वो कहेंगे तब अपडेट किया जाएगा, आपको ये प्रेरित भी करना है कि विभाग बहुत दिन से अपडेट नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए इसको अपडेट करना है इंफॉर्मेशन। दीज थिंग्स, अभी हमने एक आध पॉलिसी जो फाइनलाइज किया है, ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर, अभी मैंने तुरंत वो पॉलिसी फाइनलाइज किया है। पहले हुआ कि कैबिनेट जाएगी, अभी मालूम हुआ है मेरे स्तर से हो सकता है। दैट प्रोसेस हैज बीन फाइनलाइज्ड। आई हैव लेट मी मेक दैट एज अनाउंसमेंट। अबाउट कपल ऑफ डेज अगो आई हैव फाइनलाइज्ड दैट पॉलिसी। Therefore, this whole open software policy means when you go for a tender, you go for an RFP, open source will be a precondition for making any persons to apply. इससे एक नयापन आएगा। कई चीजों का जो कॉस्ट बढ़ता है ऑन मेंटेनेंस चार्जेस आर्बिट्रेरली, वो कम होगा। हम आपसे इतना कह सकते हैं कि आईटी मंत्री और आईटी विभाग के रूप में इस देश के आईटी प्रोफाइल को मजबूत करने के लिए जितना और करने की जरूरत है, हम करेंगे इन टर्म्स ऑफ पॉलिसी। अभी रामसेवक जी ने कई इनिशिएटिव को बताया है। बिकॉज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, is a person who sincerely believes that if India has to change, it will change upon the benchmark of digital connectivity. ये बहुत जरूरी है। और पूरी दुनिया, मैं विदेश जाता हूं, बाकी इंटरनेट के लोग आते हैं, बाकी आते हैं, all of them say we want India to take the lead in this new digital world, in this new digitally connected world. And obviously we are a democracy. हम विचारों के आदान प्रदान का सम्मान करते हैं। और आप लोगों से मेरा आग्रह है, सरकारी विभाग के लोगों से, डोंट बी केजी अबाउट इंफॉर्मेशन। वॉट एवर इज सेंसिटिव, वॉट एवर इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर नेशनल सिक्योरिटी, यू आर एक्सरसाइज योर डिस्क्रेशन, वी ट्रस्ट देम। बट इफ यू शेयर इंफॉर्मेशन, प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन which is designed to encourage, enable and participate, you will see a different kind. यहाँ हमारी पोस्टल के सेक्रेटरी बैठी हैं कावेरी जी, मैंने एक और निर्देश दिया है। हमारे 1.5 लाख रूरल पोस्ट ऑफिसेज हैं, हमारे लगभग 1.5 लाख कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर हैं, मेरे ख्याल में इतना ही है ना, 1.5 लाख कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर है। डिजिटल इंडिया में इन दोनों को बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभानी है। एंड माई कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ए डिजिटल एम्पावरमेंट इज tribal villagers, Dalit villagers, group of villagers operating a common service center, digitally empowered, from making reservations in railways to giving information to delivery of services. हम ये, और मैं आपसे बताना चाहता हूं, ये देश इसके लिए बहुत बेताब है कि हमें रास्ता दिखाया जाए। अभी कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स का हमने कॉन्फ्रेंस किया था, जो देश की महिलाएं जिस उत्साह से आई थी और हमने उनके प्रेजेंटेशन को देखा था, आई वॉज अमेज्ड। आई कैन ओनली टेल यू ऑफिसर्स, द कंट्री इज मच मच अहेड ऑफ अस। वी नीड टू मैप अप आवर स्टेप्स टू बी विद देम। ये बहुत जरूरी है। आपने अच्छा काम किया है, आपको मेरी बहुत बधाई है। मैंने एक दो मुझे सुझाव देने हैं, नीता आपको विचार करिए। अजय, ठीक है, डिपार्टमेंट्स तो चलना चाहिए। कैन वी ऑल्सो हैव ए सब कैटेगरी ऑफ local bodies of India? Please think about it. Of corporations of India. ठीक है, अभी प्राइवेट सेक्टर का अपना एक पैमाना होता है, उनकी एक एफिशिएंसी का इनेबलिंग एटमॉस्फेयर होता है। But I think about from state governments and central governments, we must encourage local bodies, जिला परिषद, corporations, notified areas, other forms of local government. If they are doing well in terms of digital empowerment, they also need to be awarded. मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई, मैं आप सबों का अभिनंदन करता हूं। ये काम अच्छा करिए और आगे अधिक अवार्ड जीतिए। बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your kind and encouraging address. You stressed that information is power and adoption of simple language which is easily comprehensible for the citizen, and Digital India bridging the gap among the other noble initiatives of our government in enabling good governance. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to now present mementos to our esteemed guests and dignitaries as a small gesture of our appreciation. May I firstly request Shri Ram Sevak Sharma to kindly present a memento to Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking Honorable Minister for his gracious presence in this function. May I now request Shri Tapan Ray to kindly present a memento to Shri Ram Sevak Sharma. May I now request Dr. Ajay Kumar to kindly present a memento to Shri Tapan Ray. And now may I request Ms. Neeta Verma to kindly present a memento to Dr. Ajay Kumar. Thank you. I would like to now request Ms. Alka Mishra, the Senior Technical Director of NIC, and I request her to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Respected Minister of Communications and IT, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, Secretary Diety, Additional Secretary Diety, Director General NIC, Deputy Director General NIC, awardees of prestigious Web Ratna Awards, distinguished guests, members of media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion of Web Ratna Awards. We are extremely grateful to Honorable Minister of Communications and IT, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad, for sparing his valuable time to grace the occasion and confer the awards to the awardees selected across the country. Sir, your leadership has been a source of inspiration, encouraging us to work harder towards our envisaged goal. We express our sincere thanks to Secretary Diety for all his guidance, which has been invaluable, stimulating us to strive harder as we chalk our goal and work towards it. I would like to express our gratitude to Additional Secretary Diety for his valuable support and encouraging address. Director General of NIC has been always with us during the course of this journey while we are organizing the award ceremony. And more important, the various initiatives and projects which NIC has been entrusted from time to time. Deputy Director General NIC has been constantly guiding us with overall blueprint as well as detailing of the national portal, the Mission Mode project under whose ambit the Web Ratna Awards have been instituted. Thank you, ma'am, for being our source of inspiration. On behalf of NIC, let me take this occasion to heartily congratulate the winners of this prestigious award. Your sustained and continued effort towards e-governance has enabled your departments to enhance the public service delivery mechanism using the medium of web. And now, as Sir said, we will have to carry it in our pockets. So we have to go mobile. Hope to see many more awardees from new departments, and not only now departments, the local bodies and the Jilla Parishads also to join us in our journey. I acknowledge Professor M.P. Gupta, IIT Delhi, and his team for their effort in shortlisting the awardees. It was indeed a tough job because the competition was stiff. As Secretary has said, the margin was very, very narrow. My sincere thanks to the esteemed jury in judiciously selecting the awardees in all the categories. I remember it was a challenge, and only this distinguished jury could do it. Thank you. I take this opportunity to thank all the senior officials from the different ministries, departments, states, Diety and NIC for being present here with us and encouraging all those who have won the Web Ratna Awards. Thank you for sparing your precious time. I'm thankful to members of media present here for covering this important milestone, a biennial national event, Web Ratna Awards. This journey had begun in 2009. I would like to especially thank MD Nixie as well as his entire team for the logistic support for convening this event. My sincere thanks to the administration sections of NIC and Director General's office for the timely help and cooperation. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the team members of National Portal of India led by Mrs. Neeta Verma. The team members are Lokesh Joshi, Mohan Das, DP Mishra, Veer Vikram, Naren Jain, Shashi Pandey, Jaswinder Kaur, Sitansu, Ritik, Vijay, Ravi, Kundan, Anand and Subodh for your valuable contribution towards organizing the Web Ratna Awards. Publications Division of NIC has provided all the support in getting the invite, compendium, certificates printed well in time. Thank you Anita Arora, Sudhir Gupta and the team. I would like to thank Anil Rathore and his webcast team for covering the event. This is just a humble beginning and there is still lots to achieve as we make further progress under the umbrella of Digital India, leveraging upon technology, facilitating public service delivery and citizen engagement. ICT-based e-governance platform using the medium of web is all set to become the key agent of change. Thank you one and all for making this event a truly memorable one. Thank you.